The Young and the Restless. Spoilers. Welcome back to the channel, besties. Today is a beautiful sunny day outside, but frankly, my internal world is currently in absolute shambles and we need to unpack this immediately. Grab your biggest iced coffees and strap in because we are going for a ride. Stop what you are doing. I am literally shaking. You guys, I am deceased. I am literally filming this while I'm running errands, sitting in the absolute chaos of a Target parking lot because I just had to jump on here and vent. Wait, we need to talk about this now. Send help. My soul has actually left my body. I was mid-skincare routine when this episode dropped, and I literally had to yeet my phone across the room. And yes, I smeared my charcoal mask all over my vintage cream rug, but I don't even care because the stakes are astronomical right now. We are not just watching this show anymore. We are invested. I am physically vibrating from the sheer audacity of what the writers just did to our queen, Nikki Newman. Like, I am personally attacked. My grip on reality is slipping, and I am not okay. Wait, backtrack for a second. I missed a step. Let's rewind to how we even got to this absolute nightmare. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but Nikki has been having these raging, skull-crushing headaches for weeks now. Did I say that yet? My brain is mush. Moving on, basically. She's been brushing them off, blaming her MS, acting like she just needs a nap and a strong espresso. Bestie, be for real, right now. You do not just ignore head pain that makes you wince like you've been stabbed. But Nikki is stubborn, which is honestly so unhinged, and she's been popping painkillers like they are breath mints. The sheer amount of pills she is swallowing just to get through a normal conversation is genuinely terrifying. She is exhausted, she is delirious, and her body is straight up screaming for help. I'm literally hyperventilating right now just thinking about her state in this episode. Nikki Newman, the absolute standard of Genoa City glamour, is sitting there looking so fragile, so drained, and so heavily medicated that she can't even form a coherent thought. She is constantly exhausted, completely out of it, just floating in this hazy, painkiller-induced fog because the agony is just too much to bear. It's giving major, I cannot even, energy, but in the most tragic, soul-crushing way possible. She can barely keep her eyes open. The pain is washing over her in these brutal, relentless waves, and you can see the exact moment her pristine facade just shatters. I am totally living for Melody Thomas Scott's acting here, but I am also completely unwell. She is playing this delirious, pain-riddled state so perfectly that I'm genuinely concerned for her real-life well-being. So Victoria finally drags her to the hospital, and don't even get me started on the vibes in that hospital room. The lighting, straight up cinematic mayhem. It was so cold and sterile, and there was this weird low hum from the AC unit in the background. Wait, I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. I just get so distracted by the aesthetic choices when my emotional damage is this high. Anyway, they do the x-rays, and the tension in that room is so thick you could cut it with a scalpel. Victoria is pacing back and forth, her heels clicking on the linoleum. Nikki is practically passing out from the cocktail of drugs in her system, and I am sitting on my couch screaming at the television like a lunatic. And then the doctor walks in. You guys, the way the doctor walked in, slapped those x-rays up on the glowing light board, and just delivered the most world-ending tea ever. The freaking tumor, has grown. It is massive. It is aggressive. It is literally taking over her brain. And the X-ray is right there, glowing in the dark like some sort of grim reaper prophecy. I am calling it the villain arc of this tumor is about to go nuclear. The doctor's face was so grim, so devoid of hope, that my stomach actually dropped into my shoes. They basically said her condition is deteriorating faster than anyone anticipated. It is getting so much worse, besties. I had to pause the TV and just stare at the wall for a solid 10 minutes because I could not process the words coming out of that doctor's mouth. The doctor straight up looks at him and says the surgery is going to be incredibly difficult, like nearly impossible levels of difficult. The tumor is positioned in a way that makes operating an absolute nightmare. The risks are astronomical. They are basically telling Nikki and Victoria that this isn't just a routine procedure. This is a brutal, bloody fight for her life, and the odds are absolutely not in their favor. The medical jargon was flying all over the place, but all I heard was, "You might lose your mother." I literally cannot breathe. The stakes have never been higher. This isn't just a storyline. This is the potential end of an absolute era. If they take Nikki from us, I am genuinely boycotting the network. Now, let's talk about Victoria. Oh my God. Victoria. I am crying real tears just thinking about her face. When the doctor dropped that bomb, Victoria literally froze. The ice queen of Newman Enterprises, the woman who can fire a board of directors without blinking, just completely shattered into a million pieces. You could see the exact second her heart broke. She was paralyzed. The news was so devastating, so earth-shattering, that she couldn't even speak. She just stared at that X-ray, realizing that she could lose her mother at any given second. The vulnerability in her eyes, I am genuinely wrecked. She is officially on my do not perceive list because looking at her pain is causing me physical agony. I have never seen Victoria look so small, so terrified, and so utterly helpless. Wait, hold on. I need to pause because I am having a full-blown existential crisis over here. How is Victor going to react to this? Did I mention Victor yet? My brain is literally short-circuiting. Victor has been so distracted by his petty revenge plots, his AI frame-ups against Phyllis, and keeping Matt Clark on the ranch like some sort of twisted pet. He's been ignoring the severity of Nikki's condition. When he finds out that his wife, his soulmate, the love of his twisted, manipulative life, is sitting in a hospital room with an inoperable, rapidly growing brain tumor, he is going to lose his absolute mind, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update, because Victor Newman is going to tear Genoa City apart piece by piece out of pure guilt and rage. He is going to blame the doctors. He is going to blame the hospital. He is probably going to blame himself. And it is going to be a psychological bloodbath. And Nikki, poor, beautiful, delirious Nikki, she's so drugged up on those heavy painkillers that I don't even think the reality of the diagnosis has fully hit her yet. She's just blinking slowly, looking at Victoria's tear-streaked face, trying to process why her daughter looks like the world just ended. It is the most heartbreaking psychological masterpiece of a scene I have ever witnessed. The contrast between Victoria's sharp, agonizing panic and Nikki's dull, medicated confusion is just pure cinematic gold. I am so deep in the lore right now that I feel like I am sitting in that hospital room with them, holding Nikki's hand and sobbing into her expensive designer blanket. She doesn't even have the energy to fight back right now. The painkillers have completely stripped her of her usual fiery spirit, leaving this hollow, exhausted shell. And it is genuinely the most depressing thing I have ever watched. I genuinely don't know how we are going to survive the rest of this week. If the writers actually kill off Nikki Newman, I'm rioting. I will march down to the studio myself. She is the matriarch. You can't just drop a massive, life-threatening tumor on her and expect us to go to work the next day like everything is normal. I am physically vibrating with stress. Every single choice she has made, every time she brushed off those headaches, it was all leading to this horrific, unavoidable tragedy. The foreshadowing was there, and we were all just too blind to see it. Or maybe we saw it and just lived in denial. Bestie, I am spiraling. I am literally looking back at the past 3 months of episodes and kicking myself for not realizing that her MS flare-ups were actually a literal brain tumor expanding by the minute. Let's just dissect the sheer emotional weight of this for a second. Victoria is going to have to carry this burden alone until she tells the rest of the family. She's going to have to tell Nick. She's going to have to tell Victor. Can you even imagine the family meeting? Nick is already spiraling from his drug-induced crash and the whole Matt Clark amnesia nightmare. If Nick finds out his mother is dying while he's been popping fentanyl, the guilt is going to literally destroy him. He is going to completely unravel. The entire Newman family is balancing on the absolute edge of a cliff, and this tumor is the gust of wind that is going to push them all over into the abyss. The chaos is going to be magnificent, but the emotional damage is going to be permanent. We are witnessing the collapse of an empire, besties. I need to go lie down. I am physically exhausted from feeling so many feelings. My charcoal mask has dried into a solid crust on my face. My rug is permanently ruined, and my heart is completely broken for the Newman family. We need to start a prayer circle for Nikki immediately. Manifesting a miracle, manifesting a world-class Vij and flying in from Europe, manifesting anything but this tragic end. The sheer audacity of this storyline has left me utterly drained. I'll keep you guys updated as soon as the next episode drops, but for now, I am officially logging off to scream into a pillow. Stay strong, besties, because Genoa City is about to become an absolute emotional war zone, and I am genuinely terrified for what comes next.